Warmest greetings. First of all, give thanks and praise to the Most High. Give thanks for life. Give thanks that we're here. And give thanks to Tony Barber Shop, who is raising the level of consciousness around the world. So give thanks to Tony. Anytime you're in England, in London, in North London, Tottenham, please visit Tony's Barber Shop, Urban House, Conscious Souls. Inside the house, we have Brother Anwar, and we'll shake your hand. Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me, brother.
With Anwar, we're going to know a little bit about Anwar, a little bit about Tottenham, because he's very passionate about Tottenham, and also we're going to talk about what happened question time happened a couple of weeks ago. So Anwar, who is a community activist and has been very active in the community for so many years, very passionate, you know, and someone we gravitate towards. Anwar, again, give thanks.
Brother Dougie, thanks
I want
for
to let the
having
people know that you're all over the world now. A little bit about yourself. What you've been up to? Because we just grabbed out this busy schedule, literally, from work.
Yes. 20 minutes ago, I was inside the roof repairing some stuff. 20 minutes later, I'm doing an interview. This is how we do it, Brother Dougie. Activism is 24/7.
24/7.
While even you're at work, you're still doing your activism. I don't know where to start, Brother Dougie. We've known each other for quite a while. I've been in Tottenham for more than 30 years, raised here, been part of the vibrant African Caribbean community, and Tottenham has many races, different faces, and it's such an area to be proud of. Yeah, and I'm so grateful to be part of this community and being part of quite a few organisations and doing my little bit, what I can contribute to make our community a better place for us all.
Okay. Just to wind back a little bit. So, you grew up in what school you went to? Just to.
I went to, when I first came from Morocco, Africa, I went to Crowland School, and then I went to secondary school, Glazemore School. It was known as Drayton School before, but when I went there, it was called Glazemore Community School. Right after that, I went and done a YTS scheme in carpentry, and I was always looking away at in knowledge. As you know, when you do a YTS scheme or a youth training program, it all depends on the lectures or the teachers to direct you. But back in the days, things weren't straight. So I'd done the YTS. Then after that, I was working as an engineering man for a hotel. Then I said to myself, I need something higher than that. I went back to college, done my construction studies, and after that I went to uni and I've done construction management.
Okay.
And basically, the path of learning never ends.
Never end. Never end.
The path of learning never ends. So here we are, just trying to put the knowledge out there from what we have picked up and see if anybody can receive it and expand on it.
Okay. Just want to come back to the whole thing of with Tottenham. I know you've been involved with different community groups, different organisations, but where do you see the, might be a bit of a heavy question at the moment, but I don't want to jump deep in. What do you think of the future for Tottenham right now? How do you see the
Well, you see, Brother Dougie, whenever you look at an area, you look at its disadvantages and advantages, yeah? So we start off with the advantages, yeah? Tottenham has got one of the best infrastructure for transport in the whole of Europe. The investors and the one that knows how vital that is in the area, they are humming on it. And now the plans for the regeneration plan for Haringey, the 2020 plan, that brings a line different parties. So you've got investors, local authority, and central government. And they've earmarked this area for a long-term regeneration plan. The disadvantages now in our area is there has always been a mistrust of the police in our area. That stagnated the development and the improvement of our community. So now the disadvantage now, we don't have to fear the police. We don't have to be scared of the police. The police are on the map. All eyes are on the police. We, as you know, we are part of many organizations that try to iron things out between our community and the police, such as the Stop and Search Monitoring Group and other groups that really pick up key data from the police and see how they are being used, whether they are manipulated or used to our advantage. It's only up to us to really focus on that data and see how we can take that data forward, so the lives of our young people and the community in general is more comfortable when they are in contact with the police.
Okay then. As you mentioned about young people, how do you see the future for young people right now in Tottenham?
Well, unfortunately, the future for young people, it's been marketed as jolly, bright, and it's all good. Unfortunately, the case is not that. Young people in Tottenham or anywhere else in the country are being forced to do unpaid work under training programs or apprenticeship. When I went to apprenticeship or a training program, I was paid to go. I was dealt with like a young adult that is trying to find his career and so forth. But unfortunately, our young people now have been pampered, and they've been nanny stated so much they are unable to make themselves qualified for that job market there. And the job market there is really prejudiced, and what it focuses now, from now on, the job market focuses on Generation Z, I think, where those who are very high-tech in gadget equipment or very fast process, don't ask many questions. These are the ages of the people that we should really have in our workplaces. The old school generation sidelined them. So I'm in that struggle that the non-Generation Z still have a lot to contribute to society and still have many years of work or employment in front of them. You cannot just isolate them because of age. And I'm afraid we have a prejudice against age and ageism.
Okay.
So young people are very unfortunately got the wrong slice of the cake, but it's up to us to have some form of pressure groups that will go straight to the investors, straight to the people who have the money, who coming in to London. Forget the local authority and say, listen, we have this much young people unemployed. Do you see your company taking some of them? And if we don't find places like these for our young people, we can't rely on nobody to find places for our young people.
Because the young people, they are the future. So
They are the future, and we are the legacy behind, but they will go forward.
Okay, then. I like the way you articulate that. I want to talk about question time, because a couple weeks ago there was question time actually in Tottenham at the Burning Ground Centre. I know yourself feel that we should have our own question time, but just let people know how you able to, capture that question time and give people, your vision.
Yeah, what it is, Brother Dougie, to tell you straight and forward, I was quite curious why BBC Question Time was going to return back to Tottenham and what type of questions they were going to ask after their last visit after the riot. So when I'd done my background research, I realized that none of the questions were based on the local concerns. All the questions were related national or to the foreign affairs question. So an idea came to my head, and I thought to myself, well, if the BBC can afford to hire the Burning Ground Arts Centre for 3 days, the first day to do their preparation, the second day to do their filming, the third day to pack up and go home. So the BBC had the Burning Ground Arts Centre for 3 days, and they paid good money, and within that, the BBC took full control of the Bernie Grant Arts Centre. As you know, the Bernie Grant Arts Centre is a people's centre. So once I realised that the BBC Question Time is not really there for the benefit of the local people or the Bernie Grant Arts Centre, one of my hero, Bernie Grant, my God, bless his soul, I realised that we needed to have our own, the People's Question Time. So I rushed around trying to arrange the People's Question Time to go hand in hand with the BBC Question Time being filmed inside. So my People's Question Time was filmed outside. And I had respected community members and leaders who are activists in their own right for different causes. So we had a lady discussing ageism, we had someone there discussing Ward's Corner campaign where we're filming right here. We had someone talking about repatriation. We had someone talking about opportunity for young people, and also we had someone talking about the Marcus Garvey Library and how it's been manipulated in its design, refurbishment and its layout.
Okay then, because I mean...
But the Question Time now, it's been recognised, and I just want to say on camera now, it's I've done it in a very primitive way, and it worked because I had the key figures in from the community. Now someone has contacted me and said you can have the full facility of a proper studio with lighting and all the facilities, and basically we're going to re-record Question Time, and it's going to be on different topics. So hopefully in their future there is a space and a studio for People's Question Time, and we can expand on this.
Okay, that's a very good idea. That, you know what I mean? You need people to express their views and have a ideology or have a perspective, because I mean, what's happening now? We're getting different perspective from other people who speak Hazen and for their own benefit. So we need to, express ourselves and talk what's happening.
I mean,
in the community.
The whole concept about the People's Question Time is not forgetting that I don't know if you've followed Parliament, but Jeremy Corbyn, at one stage when he came into his leadership position at Parliament, he actually addressed the Prime Minister with a question from the people. So he stood up and he said, I have a question from the people. And he gave David Cameron the question from the people. And that was kind of unprecedented. And Mr. Cameron felt that he was in a position, pressured to answer, but he did answer. And once he answered, that set precedent for People's Question to come in Parliament, to come in the Bernie Grant Arts Centre. People's questions can go to the local authority. People's questions can go to the police station, to the hospitals. At least we have some form of control about our questions, our concerns and our worries. I mean, we have concerns or worries not just for ourselves. We have questions, concerns or worries for our family members, for the local community, the wider communities, and concerns are not allowed to linger too much. You have to understand the concern so you can address it and approach it and sort it out accordingly.
Okay then. I want to ask you a question in terms of the future for you personally. I mean, what's the future holds for you personally? And what do you like to see the future for Tottenham?
Well, my personal future, I leave it in the Almighty's hands. He knows what's best for me, and He alone can preserve me, direct me, and do whatever He pleases with me. As for the general people, I'll say that the community is strong. Okay, the community is aware. The community, within its own right, organised and has a passion that's unseen in no other community. It's not coincidence that the government has hummed in Tottenham, and it's not a coincidence that all these droves of middle class people are coming in to Tottenham. what we have to watch out for is we don't get gentrificated just like what happened in Shoreditch or in Hackney. We have to be strong enough to dig down, to dig deep and set those foundations that when the flood of gentrification fully comes, we resist it and we remain here.
Right.
We remain here in such a way that we are unrootable. Maybe you've rooted some in Brixton or in Hackney or in Stoke Newington or other places. Something special about Tottenham. We are deeply rooted.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned that because it's very important that we come together and express, because there's something special about Tottenham. There's that kind of fighting spirit in Tottenham, and just to ride on what you're saying. If you look at Tottenham High Road, right, from Bruce Grove upwards to White Hart Lane, the Spurs Football Club has bought most of the properties around in there. You see what I'm saying? So imagine 5-10 years time, it'll be totally different around there, and you can attract a lot of different business people there, etc. So, the plan is to move the people out of Tottenham, and so what I'm saying is that, and you're right when you said earlier on that advantage and disadvantage, right? But my argument at the end of the day, right? And this is about business, but we've got people from Tottenham have to benefit from it. That's my argument. We have to benefit from it, and that's why we have to be organised, right? Now, once we're organised, we can take advantage of what's happening.
For example, take this Ward's Corner Seven Sisters Market, right? At the moment, it's in dispute. The developers want to come in, bold this down, and raise something new. The Latin community to go across the road, if they choose to do so. Some to be partly paid to leave, and a building will be erected. But no one is focusing on the developers. No one is focusing on Granger. I took it upon myself, and I went all the way to High Street, Kensington, right next to Harrods, and I walked into the office of Granger. He said, "Hi, my name is Anwar."
Okay.
He said, "Who are you?"
You've got about a minute left. No, exactly about a minute left. And so we want to interview again. So on to that point there. And what I want to say is this: that if you got a website or people can.
At the moment, there is no website, but I accept all queries via my email due to the sensitivity.
Give it email. Give it email.
My email is A for Apple, E for Eddie, L for Larry, F for Freddy, R for Roger, O for Orange, U for Umbrella, G for Giraffe, U for Umbrella, I for Italy at yahoo.co.uk. So I'll read that out again. A for Apple, E for Eddie, L for Larry, F for Freddy, R for Roger, O for Orange, U for Umbrella, G for Giraffe, U for Umbrella again, I for Italy at yahoo.co.uk. You're more than welcome to ask me the question. I'll reply if I can. Thank you.
All right then. Give thanks. Peace.